Greetings. We are going to look at a paint company that produces gallons of paint, and we're trying to figure out our income and expenses and whether or not we can make a net profit based upon our maximum capability, where we can make a positive net profit. We want to see what our capacity is. We will be looking at constraints, variable data tables, 1 and 2 variable data tables using what-if analysis tools, and scenarios. Now, we could sit here and change things up here in units sold. We could change in the number of units that we consume, the hours consumed, and that would change the total production cost, and figure out where our sweet spot was for making a good net profit. But by using what-if analysis, we can ask questions and look at the data in many different ways. So the first thing we're going to do is make looking at the data and the cells a little bit easier by using range names. When we're doing calculations, as you know, it's really confusing if you're just looking at cell addresses to figure out what you were actually doing in the calculation. So we can use range names. So go highlight cells A18 to cells B18 and go to formulas, create from selection, and we want to create the name using the left column. Total production cost is already there for us. So now when you click on B18, you see that the range name is now total production cost instead of cell B18. Let's do the same thing to gross profit, formulas, create from selection. Now, in our net profit, we're going to subtract, just watch what I do. I put the equal sign, type gross profit, and there is our range, our named range, minus total production cost, and there is our named range, and there is our net profit. These things it wants you to do is to make a new worksheet with your range names identified on it. So rename the worksheet, range names, and in cell A1, we're going to paste those range names. So go to formulas, use in formula, paste names. Want to paste the list, and now we have a list of our range names. Back on the forecast worksheet then, we need to fill in our 1 variable data table for production. We want to see what happens when we vary the amount of units that we sell. So we start with 10. We sell them in 10-gallon increments. So we're going to go home. We're going to fill in this series from 10. It's a column by 10 and stop at 200, which is our maximum capability per week. Fills that in for us. Now we need some calculations. We want to look at total production cost, gross profit, and net profit. So here we can say total production cost, gross profit, and use our range name, our named ranges, and then net profit. We just use the cell address. Now, we have calculated values, and we're going to vary the units sold up to our maximum capability of 10 in these calculations. So go to data, what-if analysis, data table, and the column input is going to be the units sold because we've got that in this column. And there we have it. So if we sell 200, our net profit is going to be $5,250. But that's hard to see because we've got these calculated values up here. So let's format these as text. Go to Custom Format, General, in quotation marks. Now we know that our total production cost is in this column. Do the same for gross profit. And I'm right clicking here to go to Format Cells, just a shortcut. Custom, General, and in quotation marks, net profit. So now our table has meaning. Now for a two variable data table. It tells us to copy and paste our range for varying the units sold. This time we're going to have two variables. We're going to be changing the hourly rate. So the first thing it wants us to do is to put in the hourly rate of $15, which is our base rate. And we're going to fill that in across. So it's a series. This time it's a row. We're going to step it or increment it by 5, and the stop value we want is 45. Now, this one doesn't have calculations across the top row like our one variable table did, so we need to reference a calculation. What we're looking for is net profit, so we reference cell B22. Highlight the entire table. Go to Data, What If Analysis, Data Table. Our row input cell then is going to be B6 because that's the employee hourly wage. Our column input cell again will be units sold. And then we get our table. Noticing at $15 an hour with 200 units is the same as our one variable table. But if we go up to $20 an hour and we produce 200, our gross profit is only, our net profit is only $5,000. So as we did before, format this so that we know what we're talking about. And we're looking at wages across this top row. All right, we've done our range names, we've done our 1 and 2 variable data tables, and we're going to do, in the next part, we're going to do scenario manager and solver. If you have any questions, let me know.